keep a huge stack of pieces of cheap drawing paper. This is 9 by 12 cheap drawing paper, 80 pound, that are just pieces I've used to lift paint or do little demos in classes, or just try out the new graphite, see how it scribbles. And I just use these for starts. I may cover over entirely what is on the page, but you know, why start with a fresh piece of paper when I can use up one of these? So I'm going to choose this one right now, and I'm going to try some timed drawing. Now, in this book that I have a picture of on this post, Creating Abstract Art by Dean Nimmer, one of the exercises in there is what he calls automatic drawing. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds like he means just drawing without stopping. So I've got my watch here. I'm 45 seconds into this. I'm going to give myself 5 minutes, and I've got this gel pen. I got a piece of graphite. I have a whole box of these watercolor crayons, and a few other tools up my sleeve. So I'm just going to change implements now and then. And for now, I'm not going to use paint. I'm just going to use these drawing things. Okay, does that count as stopping? I don't know. I stopped for 1 second while I changed drawing tools. So the thing of timing it and not stopping has the advantage of requiring you to get out of your own way and put your inner critic on a silent retreat, say. She's still there, but she's on silent retreat, not allowed to speak. Oh, how many am I? About 2 minutes in. So another thing I'm going to say about this exercise, if you're doing it, is Dean Nimmer calls it automatic drawing. I'm going to add to that, be mindful about it. Don't just, have your mind on something else and let your hands do the work. If you pay attention to the marks you make, I think you have a little more to gain out of it. I don't think he specifies that, so I'm not saying that his exercise is wrong. I'm saying he doesn't specify, and I'm specifying. Sort of helps if you can go from one hand to another, which you can. There's nothing especially ambidextrous about my doing that. I do write with my left hand and do finer motor skills with my left hand. I tend to do bigger gestures with my right. But let's try it the other way around. See, they're kind of different. About 3 minutes here. And then try the bigger gestures with the left. Quick, get the next drawing implement. Okay, this is a Pitt pen with a brush tip. Okay, here I'm switching hands just so that you can see it better, because the camera is on my left. Okay, so what if I hold it this way? I have maybe 30 seconds left here. Okay, call that 5. Okay, now I'm going to have a bit of fun with this. This is just opaque white paint. And I'm going to take a brayer. I'll take a bigger brayer. Take a brayer. Spread that paint out. And then I'm going to lift that paint using a blank piece of the same cheap drawing paper. Okay, so now I get another sort of interesting set of lines for another start. Oh, and I've toned down quite a bit of what's here. Now I could paint over that. The watercolor crayon will smoosh if you scrub it with a brush like that. So, one way to keep it from smooshing is first you let it dry. Then you take your matte medium, and this can be fluid matte medium or gel or whatever, and just put a really light, very gentle coat of it where the crayon is. And that will fix it more or less. Now the watercolor crayon does have some wax in it, so it does resist the water media, including acrylic. So once that's dry, you still could scratch through to the crayon. Not doing that right now. But if you paint over it, it won't smear like it did down here. There, and then I'd let that dry. Okay, then what's next on this piece? I don't know. Let's try some automatic painting. Ooh. Actually, I'm going to be a little teeny bit more deliberate on this. And I'm just going to start with the colors that were down on the first version of this, which is these kind of greens and turquoises. Okay, now you may think I'm just covering up a whole lot of stuff without thinking about it. I am sort of thinking about it. I'm paying attention to what I'm covering. But the other thing is, I never consider the covering sort of the final thing, because as we saw with the white, you can always do this. So I'm lifting that with the brayer, and you can see how, ooh, maybe that matte medium wasn't completely dry, and so it's lifting a little bit where the crayon was, which I'm finding kind of interesting. take this masterpiece and lift the paint in the top portion so that I can still see the linear elements that are underneath that. And then if I choose to cover them further, I can just go do that in sort of select places. So I'm not going to finish this piece right here, right now. I have no idea what it would take to finish this piece. The thing is to get it somewhere. Take it from where it is and do the next thing. Take it somewhere else. So it's really sort of interesting. Scraping the way back to the crayon. But yet, if I paint over the crayon where I had fixed it with the matte medium, it won't smear. It'll stay put. I'm going to leave that right there. It's unfinished. It's kind of raw. It has places to go. But I'm going to just stop for now and work on the next one.